every day is a new chance to learn and grow. Grow every day with Everyday English Podcast.
Hey, everyday learners, and welcome back to Coffee and Podcast from the Everyday English Podcast. I'm Rachel, and I'm so happy you're joining us today. Maybe with a cup of coffee in hand or just taking a little break.
And I'm Danny. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful and effective ways to boost your English speaking skills. It's called shadowing.
Yeah, shadowing's super simple. You just listen to English and try to repeat it right away, almost like you're the speaker's echo.
It's something even professional interpreters use when they're training, and it's amazing for helping you think and speak in English without overthinking it.
The best part? You don't need a classroom, you don't need a textbook, and you definitely don't need a 2-hour study plan. Just a few minutes a day can seriously make a huge difference.
So you might be wondering, what exactly is shadowing, and how can you actually fit it into your everyday life without making it feel like homework?
Well, in today's episode, here's what we're going to walk through together. First, we'll break down what shadowing really is and why it's so powerful for your speaking skills. Then, we'll show you a simple step-by-step way to start practicing, even if you're a complete beginner. After that, we'll talk about how to make it a natural part of your day, so it doesn't feel stressful. And along the way, we'll share some real tips and encouragement to help you stay motivated.
We're really excited about today's topic because shadowing isn't just a technique. It's honestly one of the easiest ways to make English part of your real, everyday life. All right, let's dive in. So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is shadowing?
Shadowing is super simple, but really powerful. It's when you listen to someone speaking English and repeat what they say right away, almost at the same time.
Yeah, it's like becoming their echo. You're not stopping to think or to translate in your head. You're just copying their sounds, rhythm, and feeling as naturally as you can.
And that's the magic. Because when you shadow like that, you're training your brain to react in English, not to first think in your native language and then translate.
Exactly. It's a way to make English feel more automatic, like a natural reaction, not something you have to build word by word in your mind.
And the best thing? You don't have to wait until you're ready. You can start shadowing even if you're a beginner, even if you don't understand every single word.
Because it's not about getting every word perfect. It's about getting the rhythm, the feeling, and the habit into your brain.
It's a training, a way to make your mouth and your brain start moving together in English naturally.
So even if it feels a little messy at first, that's totally normal. Messy is good. It means you're doing it right.
Exactly. We'll show you how to practice shadowing in a really simple, stress-free way in just a minute. But first, just remember, shadowing is about progress, not perfection.
All right. So now that you know what shadowing is, how do you actually start practicing it?
Good news is that it's really simple. You don't need anything fancy. First, let's talk about what you need. Just something to listen to, like a podcast, a YouTube video, or even a short movie clip, and a little bit of space to speak out loud.
But here's something really important. When you choose your audio, make sure it's the right level for you.
Yeah, one common mistake is picking something way too difficult. If the speaker is talking super fast, or if the sentences are really complicated, it can be really hard to follow. And honestly, it can get frustrating pretty fast.
And when it feels too hard, it's easy to give up. You think, I can't do this, when really, it was just the wrong material for your level.
Exactly. So start with something easy and clear, like slower podcasts, beginner conversations, or simple YouTube videos. It's much better to build your habit first, with materials that feel doable.
But at the same time, if you always stay in the super easy zone, you might not feel much progress after a while.
Right. Once shadowing starts to feel a little comfortable, that's a good sign to challenge yourself a bit more. Try slightly faster conversations, more natural speaking styles, just one step up at a time.
Not too big of a jump, just enough to stretch yourself a little. That's how real growth happens. Little by little, step by step.
Exactly. Shadowing is like building muscles. You don't lift the heaviest weight on day one. You start small, get stronger, and then you add a little more when you're ready.
So pick something you can handle today and trust that you'll keep getting stronger tomorrow. Okay, so now you've got your audio ready. Something that's clear and comfortable for you right now.
Now, let's break it down into 3 really simple steps. Step 1. Listen carefully to a short part of the audio. Just a sentence or two. Don't rush. Just let the sounds, the rhythm, and the feeling of the sentence sink in. Focus on how it sounds, not just what it means.
Don't worry if you don't catch every single word. At this stage, it's more important to feel the natural flow and energy of the speaker's voice.
Step 2. Now it's time to shadow. Play that short part again, and this time, try to repeat it right after you hear it, almost like you're the speaker's echo.
And if it feels a little too fast at first, don't worry. You can slow down the audio. Many apps and videos let you play it at 80% speed or even slower. Make it as comfortable as you need it to be.
Yeah, there's no need to rush. Shadowing is about building natural rhythm, not racing through sentences.
And here's something really important. This is where a lot of learners make a big mistake.
They focus only on copying the words, but they forget about the intonation and stress. And when you miss that, you miss a lot.
Exactly. If you just say the words without the right flow, it sounds flat, almost like a robot.
But if you pay attention to how the speaker's voice rises and falls, and which words are stressed more, you'll start to sound not just good at English, but natural in English.
That's the real goal, not just getting the words right, but carrying the full flow and music of real spoken English.
So as you shadow, listen carefully to the intonation, the stress, the feeling behind the words, and try to bring that same energy into your voice.
It might feel strange at first, and that's okay. The important thing is to stay connected to the rhythm, not to chase perfection.
And here's step 3. Now it's time to level up your shadowing practice.
Once you feel a little more comfortable repeating short sentences, you can start pushing yourself just a bit more.
One great way to level up is to practice in front of a mirror. Watch how your mouth moves. Try to match the speaker's mouth shapes, rhythm, and even the feeling in their face.
Yeah, it helps you notice small things like if you're too stiff or too flat, and makes your speaking much more alive.
Another way is to record yourself while shadowing. It might feel awkward at first, but it's a powerful tool. When you listen back, you'll start to hear little improvements and little areas you can work on.
But remember, these are just options. You don't have to do them right away. The most important thing is to keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep having fun with it.
And speaking of showing up, let's talk about how to make shadowing a real part of your everyday life. If you really want it to change your English, you have to make shadowing a habit.
Exactly. Shadowing once or twice is good, but it's the daily practice that actually transforms how you speak and think in English.
Just 5 or 10 minutes a day can create real change over time. You don't have to do it perfectly, you just have to show up a little bit every day.
But here's where a lot of learners make a mistake of trying to do too much at once. They get excited, they push themselves for an hour, and then they burn out.
Yeah, and it's totally understandable. But the real secret is not doing a lot once, it's doing a little every single day.
It's like planting a seed. You don't pour a gallon of water once and expect a tree. You water it a little every day, and that's how it grows strong. 5 minutes a day for a week is way more powerful than 1 hour once and never again.
Because every time you shadow, you're teaching your brain, your mouth, and your ears to work together, bit by bit, day by day.
And as you build this habit, English starts to feel more natural. You stop overthinking, you react faster, you speak with more rhythm and confidence. Your listening gets sharper, your speaking feels smoother, and your brain starts reacting faster, all without translating in your head.
And the best part? It doesn't have to be hard. It can be simple, light, and even fun, if you just keep it going a little bit every day.
And speaking of fun, if you really want to keep shadowing every day, you have to make it fun for yourself.
Exactly. One of the best tips we can give you is this: shadow something you actually enjoy.
Yeah, don't force yourself to shadow boring news articles or textbooks if you don't like them. Choose things you're already interested in.
For example, if you love sports, shadow sports interviews. If you love movies, shadow your favorite movie scenes. If you're into cooking, shadow a YouTube cooking channel.
Or if you like comedy, shadow a funny podcast or a stand-up clip. Laugh a little while you practice.
The more you enjoy what you're listening to, the more naturally you'll want to shadow every day. And the faster your English will grow.
Shadowing should feel like part of your life, not like extra homework you have to finish.
Exactly. So pick something you love and let English become something you live and breathe every day.
All right, before we wrap up today's episode, let's quickly review what we talked about. First, we explained what shadowing really is. Listening carefully to English and repeating it right away, not just copying the words, but also focusing on the intonation, stress, and rhythm. That's what makes your English sound natural, not robotic.
Second, we broke down how to practice shadowing step by step. Listening to short parts, repeating naturally, and leveling up when you're ready by practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself.
Third, we talked about the real secret: consistency. Shadowing isn't about doing it perfectly once. It's about practicing a little bit every single day. Because small daily habits bring real, lasting changes.
And lastly, we shared a simple but powerful tip. Choose something you actually love. Podcasts, YouTube videos, movie scenes, whatever keeps you smiling and curious.
The key is keep it simple, keep it fun, and make it a small but natural part of your everyday life.
Exactly. Because those small steps taken consistently lead to the biggest growth over time.
And that's because shadowing brings some amazing benefits.
First, it helps you think in English, not translating, but reacting naturally.
Second, it trains you to speak with real rhythm and flow, just like native speakers.
Third, it sharpens your listening skills, helping you catch the small sounds and patterns that make English sound natural.
Fourth, it builds muscle memory for speaking. So words and sentences come out more easily without overthinking.
And finally, it grows your confidence. The more you shadow, the more natural and fearless your English becomes.
Small practice every day. That's the path to big changes.
So, wherever you are on your English journey, whether you're just starting or you've been practicing for a while, remember this: it's not about being perfect.
The important thing is you're speaking, you're growing, and you're doing amazing.
And if you want even more English learning tips, be sure to check out our previous episodes. There's so much waiting for you there.
And don't forget to tune in for more. We've got lots of new conversations and tips coming your way.
Thanks so much for spending time with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment or a message. We love hearing from you.
Until next time, keep shadowing, keep smiling, and keep growing.